Imagine a place smaller than 7 square kilometers, yet at the heart of geopolitical disputes, military presence, and cultural tension for over 3 centuries. A place where the British crown meets the ambitions of continental Spain. Welcome to Gibraltar, a tiny piece of British territory clinging to the southern tip of Europe, just a stone's throw from the African coast. In this video, we'll dive into its fascinating history, strategic importance, and the never-ending debate over its sovereignty. From Phoenician sailors through the wars of European empires, all the way to Brexit and today's diplomatic tug-of-war. Chapter 1. Gateway Between Worlds. What is Gibraltar? Gibraltar is a small peninsula at the southern end of the Iberian Peninsula, famous for its iconic limestone mass known as the Rock of Gibraltar. This natural fortress rises 426 meters above sea level, dominating the strait between the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. The Strait of Gibraltar is a narrow channel about 14 kilometers wide that separates Europe from Africa, Spain from Morocco. Over 100,000 ships sail through here each year: tankers, container ships, naval vessels. Whoever controls Gibraltar holds the key to one of the world's most vital sea routes. That's why this tiny spot has always been so coveted and so fiercely contested. Chapter 2. Ancient Days. From Phoenicians to Arabs. Gibraltar's history stretches back to antiquity. The Phoenicians were among the first to recognize its strategic value, believing here marked the edge of the known world. What they called the Pillars of Hercules, referring to the rock itself and the mountain across the strait in Africa. Later, the Carthaginians, Romans, and Visigoths ruled in turn until in 711 AD, an Arab army led by General Tariq ibn Ziyad crossed the strait. He named the rock Jabal Tariq, or Mount of Tariq, which evolved into today's Gibraltar. Under Arab rule, it became part of Muslim Al-Andalus. Only in the 14th century did Christian Castile and the Emirate of Granada begin vying for control. Ultimately, the Spanish crown claimed it, but peace was short-lived. Chapter 3. The British Arrive, War of Spanish Succession and the Capture of Gibraltar. The year is 1704. Europe is engulfed in the War of the Spanish Succession. On one side are France and Spain, on the other a coalition of England, Austria, and the Netherlands. A joint British-Dutch force under Admiral Sir George Rooke seizes Gibraltar, a gambit made in the name of the Austrian claimant to the Spanish throne. In 1713, the Treaty of Utrecht formally ended the war and cemented Gibraltar's status. Spain ceded Gibraltar to Great Britain in perpetuity, but in international politics, in perpetuity often means until someone objects, and Spain has never fully accepted the deal. Chapter 4. Fortress of Empire, Gibraltar as a military base. The British quickly realized the treasure they'd won. Gibraltar was transformed into a fortress city, complete with barracks, artillery batteries, and a network of tunnels carved into the rock. During the Napoleonic Wars and both World Wars, Gibraltar served as a vital naval base. In World War II, it was the launching point for Operation Torch, the Allied invasion of North Africa. Germany even planned an assault, Operation Felix, though it never materialized. And in 1943, General Władysław Sikorski, leader of the Polish government in exile, died in a mysterious plane crash here, a tragedy still shrouded in suspicion. Chapter 5. People on the Frontier, Gibraltarian Identity. Today, around 30,000 people live on Gibraltar. They speak English, but among themselves use Lanito, a blend of English, Spanish, and local slang. Their ancestors include Britons, Maltese, Italians, Jews, and Spaniards who settled here over the centuries. What's most striking is that although they live on the Iberian Peninsula, most Gibraltarians identify as British. They fiercely value their self-government, legal system, and way of life, and reject becoming just another part of Spain. Chapter 6. Referendums and Tension. What do people want? In 1967, the first referendum saw an overwhelming 99% vote to remain under the British Crown. In 2002, a proposal for shared sovereignty with Spain was likewise rejected by over 98%. For locals, autonomy, British citizenship, and protection from pressure in Madrid are paramount. In 2006, London granted a new constitution, giving Gibraltar extensive self-rule, leaving defense and foreign affairs to the United Kingdom. Chapter 7. The Spanish View. Why does Madrid still protest? From Spain's perspective, Gibraltar is a colonial relic, an 18th century anomaly. Madrid argues Britain breaches international principles of territorial integrity and should return Gibraltar as part of natural Spanish territory. Spain cites UN decolonization resolutions from the 1960s. Over the years, Spain has imposed everything from border closures, 1969 to 1985, to stringent customs checks and diplomatic threats. Yet each pushback only seems to strengthen Gibraltarian resolve. Chapter 8. Brexit. A new era of uncertainty. Then came Brexit. In 2016, Gibraltarians voted 96% to stay in the EU. But bound to the UK's decision, they left too, raising urgent questions about border crossings, labor markets, and legal protections. Up to 15,000 people cross daily into La Linea in Spain for work. After Brexit, fears of renewed checks and isolation loomed large. Fortunately, a trilateral agreement between Spain, the UK, and the EU created a framework. Gibraltar enters the Schengen area de facto, while remaining under British sovereignty. It's a delicate compromise, but so far it works. Chapter 9. Gibraltar today, peace under the rock. Modern Gibraltar is prosperous, multicultural, and deeply integrated into the global economy. Finance, tourism, services, and shipping thrive here. The port is one of the Mediterranean's main bunkering hubs, refueling and servicing vessels. Militarily, a British garrison remains, supporting the Navy, Air Force, and intelligence operations. Though the British Empire has faded, Gibraltar endures as one of its last outposts, alongside the Falklands and Pitcairn. Life here is safe, standards of living are high, and crime is low. Yet the shadow of dispute never fully fades. Spain regularly renews its claim, and the question of who owns the rock remains unresolved. Chapter 10. Symbol and Paradox. Why Gibraltar matters. Gibraltar is more than just a tiny piece of land. It's a symbol of national identity, a legacy of colonial history, and a strategic node in world trade. Old 18th century treaties meet 21st century realities here. It's a paradox. Gibraltarians see themselves as British, yet rely on open borders with the EU. Spain defends its territorial integrity, but its pressure often backfires, unifying those it aims to win over. And the UK, despite stepping back from many overseas territories, holds tight to Gibraltar, perhaps because it's one of the last tangible reminders of empire. Conclusion: the rock that endures. Gibraltar has weathered Roman legions, Arab invasions, British wars, and European integration. Today, it's a small yet determined community defending its place between two continents, two nations, and two eras. Whatever the future brings, one thing is certain: Gibraltar won't vanish from the map of world politics. The rock remains steady, unyielding, and ever at the mercy of history's winds. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Should Gibraltar remain British, or might it one day join Spain? We look forward to hearing your views.